Hey everyone, it's Ivan at kitbadger.com, out here for a first look at some cool new stuff from Apex Tactical, Vortex, and Burnproof gear. We'll go ahead and start with Burnproof gear. If you follow my content, you probably saw pretty amazing Accuracy International and 6 Creedmoor, and with that, a new can I got, which is the AB Raptor, which is a reflex can. As a consequence, it is a big can because it goes back over the barrel. And it also ends up getting hot, and you have Mirage, so suppressor cover. The problem I have is, honestly, most suppressor covers suck. Not that they don't work and get rid of Mirage, more along the lines of you just watch them fly down range at shooting classes, because they invariably just continue to move forward. Most of them just don't stay put. One I have actually been pretty impressed with, from the stuff I've seen, is Burnproof gear. And it really has to do with the way it's actually wrapped. And what's really cool is you can actually get custom suppressor cover. Why would you need that? Well, if you have a crazy long suppressor, maybe like this. And so as a consequence, ended up reaching out to Burnproof gear, ended up getting this custom made for this can. And one of the cool things, to show you guys a close-up in a minute, but basically this wraps along the whole thing, super tight. On the inside, there's actually a heat sleeve. I'm honestly not sure what kind of material. I'm assuming the outside is Nomex. And what's really important is on this back section, you can see it actually gets pulled around the end of the can, or I don't know, the back of the can rather. So because of that and all the tension with all these wraps, it will not move forward, if you put it on correctly, off of your can. Pretty big deal. You only want to put this on once, which I will say, not super fun to put on. I suggest you use pliers to basically continue to grab this cord and pull it so you get it really tight and you never have to put it on again. But really excited to put in some time with this, probably do some shooting, honestly, after I film this stuff up here. And yeah, not have to wait for Mirage to go away. And next up, some new stuff from Vortex. So Vortex makes all kinds of optics, as well as probably some other stuff. They do always have an amazing unconditional warranty, which probably bites them at times. But yeah, ended up getting some new stuff. And so I'm pretty sure I know what these respectively are. Having said that, can always be surprised. One thing awesome, that's what I thought. So in the past, not very long ago, actually been using one of their other optics. So I want to say the Defender ST, if memory serves, on top of a Springfield Echelon compact. Honestly, it does a great job. My one critique, of course, it's a exposed emitter, which for me, I would rather not have, especially spending time out in the elements. So Vortex actually came out with some enclosed emitters. This one right here being their Venom, their micro red dot. So I'm imagining a smaller footprint. And then over here, pretty sure this is the larger version. There we go, Defender ST. So, and I think, again, if memory serves, these are the Delta Point Pro footprint. So with that in mind, don't have anything to put them on right here today, but definitely looking forward to putting time in with them. I think enclosed emitters are the way. Really glad to see more companies actually doing just that. And lastly, some pretty cool stuff from Apex Tactical. So if you're unfamiliar, they make all kinds of accessories and honestly upgrades for a number of different pistols. I think they kind of got started doing a lot of stuff for Smith & Wesson MPs originally. They actually used to be back where I grew up. I think they originally had their shop, and since then, I think they moved out to I want to say Arizona now. Yeah. Proudly manufactured in the free state of Arizona. But they actually make some pretty cool stuff for revolvers, to include this guy right here, which is my Smith & Wesson 627, I believe it is. I get lost in all the different nomenclature of these guns. They're all different numbers. But they do a really cool hammer kit. So I'll actually kind of show you a close-up of that. So right here is the factory hammer from Smith & Wesson. Keep in mind, this gun is actually from the Performance Center. With that in mind, it is basically like a MIM part. And I don't know, it is what it is. But then we have this from Apex Tactical, which is their mass driver hammer for N-Fram. They obviously make them for different models. And my understanding, the way it basically came about is they were like, hey, how can we make a super reliable hammer for 22 revolvers? Like making sure you get ignition. And I think the way they ended up going about that is, as you can see, this is all kind of skeletonized there. Conversely, that is all solid. And so, yeah, you're basically putting more mass behind the actual like part of it that is making contact to actually strike it, which is pretty cool. What's also cool is while they do make essentially like a competition hammer for these guns that is essentially bobbed, like you can't even do anything with it. This one you can actually go ahead and manipulate if you decide you want to shoot single action or of course double action. But yeah, pretty cool. I will say also inside this kit, which you can see them there, hopefully, the springs, there's basically a like competition spring and then there's a duty carry spring. And I was kind of like, oh, it might be kind of fun to put the competition spring in, just a lighter overall pull and smoother, honestly. But I was like, who knows? Probably going to carry this some, so go ahead and put the carry one in. If you don't have the tool, and there's a very specialized tool for replacing those springs, you can do it. How do I know? Because I did it. I also shot that spring across the room, almost gone forever, and ended up having to go with the competition spring, but I didn't. So I ended up getting this thing installed in there, and I will say it is definitely a, yeah, it's pretty awesome. A much smoother pull than the factory. And yeah, I actually really like that hammer. Also for this, bam, because taking a revolver into the 21st century. This right here by Apex Tactical basically goes right there, and you end up replacing that piece. And it allows you to put a ACRO on here, which I think is really cool. Am I gonna do it? Yes, I will. Am I gonna do it right this minute? No, in part because none of the holsters I have are actually set up for an optic. So kind of want to cross that bridge as far as, hey, how can I actually carry this rather than have something that is strictly just a range toy. But definitely excited to put this in, and it'll be fun to use that. So I am now going to go to the range, probably go do some slow fire at 25 yards, get some time with this guy, and probably actually shoot my bolt gun a little bit too, work on some groups, see what I get. First group cold, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be down 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 4, down 12, minus 12. Out of 12 out of 80. Pretty rough this morning. 68 out of 80. That's what I got. I apparently threw one off completely off here. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything else is marked. Would have been good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down 7 and another 10, I guess. Ultimately though, I'm gonna put in time with all of this stuff, and when I have enough time, bring you guys full reviews. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.